They didn't protect my sister, and she's dead because of them.
A duty to protect and a duty to act. Most police officers take that oath very seriously. But tonight, First Alert 4 Investigates is revealing for the first time ever accusations from state officials of inaction from some Missouri officers in incidents that ended in terrible tragedy.
And now the Attorney General says they should be held accountable. Chief Investigative Reporter Lauren Traeger brings us this exclusive story, Reckless Disregard.
On a dark Missouri Boot Heel highway lit up by blue and red, Michelle Anders said one of her last words.
Please. Oh my God. God help me.
Her sister Michelle says the mother of two was fun-loving and caring. Now she is gone.
I get to spend the rest of my life without her. And so do her children. You know, she doesn't get to see them get married. She doesn't get to be a grandmother. She doesn't get to be anything because of them.
Shortly before midnight in July last year, not far from the Arkansas border, Dunklin County Sheriff's Deputy Joseph Philpott, seen on video, and his partner were dispatched for a woman lying near the road.
Do you need an ambulance first and foremost?
No, I've been there, done that.
Obscured from view, Michelle tells him she's been beaten.
I'm trying to get away from him because...
Who's him?
The person who did this to me, okay?
When she sits up, Deputy Nicholas Cobb, whose video is on, sees she is hurt. Michelle, at times struggling to talk, she tells them she's walking from Little Rock to Chicago. She's already been to a hospital, has papers on her showing she has a broken shoulder blade.
The knot on your head looks fresh.
Yeah, these are new.
What happened there?
After the fact that it happened, you know, I didn't press any more charges. I'm just trying to get away from him.
In their official reports, both Cobb and Philpott say Michelle did not appear to be intoxicated, was not slurring her words nor stumbling, but they noted a bottle of alcohol sticking up from her purse. Philpott's body camera is not on. Cobb is in his car for much of the encounter. When Cobb gets back out, Michelle is holding her arm.
So where are you wanting to go? It's what I'm trying to get from you. Are you just going to live out on the street? What?
No, I'm not a street person, sir.
So what is your goal? What are you trying to get to?
She tells them she has no phone, no Google Maps. In his report, Philpott says she told him she did not have any money, so he told her the nearest town was a few miles away.
Would you guys mind us dropping off here?
Our policy normally is we don't give rides, but let me check something real quick.
In a whispered side conversation, Philpott asks Cobb,
Not really.
She said she walked from Little Rock to here.
She can walk.
keep walking, they tell her.
Stay off this white line, or you're probably gonna get run over. There's another gas station up the road about 2 miles, so.
Can you please take me there?
We can't give you a ride. I don't have enough room to put all your stuff in my car.
Please.
I don't have nowhere to put your stuff.
Elisa, so pained by that please.
Please.
You know, begging them, not asking, begging them to help her.
You're welcome.
Michelle thanks the officers as they walk away. 13 minutes after they leave her, this haunting image from a semi-truck's camera. Michelle sitting in the middle of the road, making no attempt to get up, and the truck hits her.
911, what's the address of your emergency? Did you hit this person or? Yeah, I mean, there was nothing that I could do. So you need an ambulance there? Yes. Well, I don't think an ambulance is going to help.
Near her body, the bags Cobb claimed they didn't have room for, now stacked neatly on the side of the road.
My sister didn't want to die. She was not suicidal. I mean, even in jail, you get phone calls. Even in jail, you get water. They left her with absolutely no hope.
Do you think she would be alive today if they had helped her?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because she would have called me, and I would have driven 1,000,000 miles to get her.
Did they fail to protect and serve?
Yes, they did. Totally. I mean, who are they protecting? They didn't protect my sister. and she's dead because of them.
And Missouri's Attorney General now accusing the deputies of a gross deviation from the standard of care. Last month, they filed a complaint asking to formally discipline Cobb and Philpott's peace officers' licenses. Those documents say the deputies acted with, quote, reckless disregard for Michelle's life by leaving her on the side of the major thoroughfare at night, despite knowing that she was a potential domestic violence victim, severely injured and intoxicated. The complaint goes on to say they failed to summon medical assistance, didn't provide her with appropriate resources, and did not transport her to a place of safety.
They need to get right with Jesus, in my opinion, because they failed her.
First Alert 4 Investigates confirmed both Cobb and Philpott are still employed with the sheriff's office. The sheriff saying he would not discuss the case. Elisa shocked they still have a badge. She thinks they should be charged with a crime.
My sister's blood is on their hands because they did not do their job. They took an oath to serve and protect, and they did none of that. They laughed in her face, said they didn't have room for her things, and she was dead 13 minutes later.
But Michelle's case, sadly, is not the only alarming instance like it First Alert 4 Investigates has recently uncovered. Similar disciplinary complaint documents filed by the state say 2 St. Louis police officers, Ty Warren and Austin Frazier, committed what the state again called a reckless disregard, and more, they said, quote, an act of baseness, vileness, and depravity. They had been called to Forest Park in September 2023 after a call from a person who said they were going to commit suicide. Warren and Frazier found 29-year-old Ureoan Rodriguez Rivera under a tree, shot but still breathing. According to the complaint, Warren told Frazier, "We need to take this MFer then," to which Frazier replied, "We ain't taking this expletive. Let's cruise around and come back." The scene, according to the police incident report, was just off Kings Highway, very close to a major hospital. The complaint documents say they never provided medical assessment or attempt to render assistance. Neither attempted to locate a firearm, which was reported missing from the scene. Rodriguez Rivera died later at a hospital, having left multiple letters of intent. His death ruled a suicide. His mother, who lives in Puerto Rico, texted with First Alert 4 Investigates, writing, "He was quiet, very smart, and had emotional problems. Writing, nothing will change. That my son is dead. It's very painful for me."
What? Why? Why didn't they help him?
That case shocking to Elisa, too. She wonders how many other vulnerable people have suffered because she says someone with a badge turned a blind eye.
What is this idea of reckless disregard?
It's that you know what the rules are and you blow by them anyway.
Gary Berger's the St. Louis attorney, well-versed on cop cases. The state, he says, is accusing officers in both situations of failing to do what a reasonable officer would.
Leaving injured people in harm's way, both a danger to themselves and to other people, is inappropriate conduct from a police officer.
But that's just discipline. The families in both cases, he says, could possibly sue, but criminal charges, he says, are not likely.
It's often difficult to prosecute officers for what they do. Is it more difficult to hold them accountable criminally for what they don't do?
Absolutely. That's a great point, Lauren. Omission, the lack of doing something, is even harder. The law is going to give them even more defenses.
In fact, Deputy Joseph Philpott is fighting back against the discipline. His attorney now filing a response to the AG's complaint, denying the allegations and citing an Arkansas police report from 3 days before their encounter, claiming Michelle was a perpetrator of assault, not a victim, though nothing in their incident reports or on the video seems to indicate they knew that at the time. Cobb's attorney spoke to First Alert 4 Investigates, saying Cobb is prepared to vehemently defend himself. The attorney telling us he couldn't speak much on the matter, but he was confident Cobb would be vindicated. We tried to reach the officers in the Forest Park incident. Neither would talk. St. Louis police declined our request for an interview. A spokesperson writed, quote, "The two individuals are no longer employed by the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. While we are unable to comment on specific personnel matters, SLMPD holds its officers to the highest standards. Appropriate disciplinary action will be taken if an officer is found to have violated policies."
I wish they would have arrested her. She'd still be here.
Elisa says she desperately wants the officers held accountable.
She can't talk anymore, but I'm her voice.
Her sister's pleas now leading to one of her own.
I was everything to her. She was everything to me.
Elisa says she wants more answers about how her sister's death was handled in general. Meanwhile, according to the state, Ty Warren is the only officer we've mentioned without an active peace officer's license right now. At this point, we don't know what became of that missing firearm in Forest Park, only that St. Louis police filed a report that it may have been stolen. St. Louis police requested payment from us for a public records request we made nearly a month ago for that information, all of it regarding the Forest Park incident. We have paid for that, but we have not yet received the records. Because of that, we don't have the body camera footage from that instance either. Much to follow on this, and we certainly will. I'm Lauren Traeger. First Alert 4 investigates.